Imagine a face carved in stone, staring out at you from 12,000 years ago, not painted, not sketched, but sculpted. In the silent desert hills of southeastern Turkey, archaeologists have uncovered something extraordinary, the first human face ever found on a T-shaped pillar. This is Karahantepe. This is the dawn of human expression. In today's video, we dive deep into this incredible discovery, what it tells us about ancient mind, belief, and our shared human story. Before we get to the face itself, we must understand where and when we are. Karahantepe, also spelled Karahantepe, lies in southeastern Turkey, in the Şanlıurfa region. It is one of a cluster of prehistoric sites in the region collectively known as Taş Tepeler, stone hills. It is often referred to as a sister site to Göbekli Tepe, the world-famous Neolithic sanctuary. The site was first discovered in 1997, but systematic excavations ramped up later. Since around 2019, the Istanbul University team has worked on the western slope and carved bedrock levels. What makes Karahantepe remarkable is that it appears to date back to the pre-pottery Neolithic era. In other words, before written language, before full agriculture, yet already monumental and symbolic. In this landscape of rolling hills and rocky outcrops, the builders of Karahantepe erected massive T-shaped stone pillars, also called stelae, large carved monoliths that often take anthropomorphic human-like form. These pillars often feature reliefs, animals, snakes, foxes, birds, abstract motifs, and carved arms. But until now, no carved faces as part of the pillar itself. Thus, the recent find of a human face on a T-pillar is nothing short of revolutionary in this context. Let's turn now to the discovery itself, what archaeologists found, when and why it matters. In October 2025, announced early October, archaeologists working under Turkey's Ministry of Culture and the Taş Tepeler project revealed that they had uncovered a T-shaped pillar bearing a carved human face for the first time at Karahantepe. The pillar is about 135 centimeters tall, approximately 4.5 feet, and is carved from the same local stone used elsewhere on site. The face is abstract but discernible, a prominent brow, deep-set eyes or eye sockets, a straight, broad nose, sharp lines, angular jaw contours. Interestingly, this pillar was found in a domestic structure, not just a temple or ritual hall, with grinding stones and household implements, which suggests it was integrated into everyday life, not separated ritual space. Excavation director Necmi Karul, Istanbul University, says that the missing face element in the pattern of T-pillars has now been found, filling a symbolic gap. Until now, most pillars had carved arms, hands, garments, or animals, but not faces. This singular carved face is a new milestone in Neolithic symbolic expression. It demonstrates that the people who built these monuments had the cognitive capacity to represent self, identity, gaze, perhaps even consciousness. Why does this discovery cause archaeologists and historians to sit up? Because the human face is one of the most emotionally loaded, symbolic, and identity-bearing images any culture can produce. Consider. 1. The face is identity, presence, gaze. A carved face evokes presence. Someone is there, watching, witnessing. In many cultures, eyes and faces are deeply tied to soul, spirit, ancestor, or divine. To carve a face is to project personality, to claim memory, to assert relational connection across time. 2. Previously, abstraction ruled prior T-pillars had arms, hands, sometimes reliefs of animals. The human body appears in fragments or stylized form, but seldom the literal face on a standing stone. This new face pierces abstraction and brings us into a direct encounter. 3. Emotional resonance across millennia. When we see a carved face, we instinctively seek meaning. Who was this? Why carved this way? Was it a deity, ancestor, A representation of a clan, a visionary? The emotional punch is big. It humanizes what was once cryptic. 4. Bridging the human and the sacred. In Neolithic contexts, the boundary between the mundane and the sacred is often fluid. A face carved into a pillar in a domestic building suggests the sacred is woven into daily life. The monument is not simply monument. It is an interface between people and what they held sacred. To grasp the full weight of this find, let's compare it to other known ancient human depictions and see how it ranks. In Göbekli Tepe, many T-pillars show arms carved on the pillar, often folded or holding animals, but no carved face on the shaft itself has been confirmed. There are other anthropomorphic statues and busts found at Neolithic sites, small stone heads, carved faces on reliefs, etc. But these are separate objects, not integral pillars. The presence of a face on a pillar is extremely rare globally in very early contexts. That is what makes this find stand out. Some prehistoric sites elsewhere have rock art, petroglyphs, carved heads, but often much later in time. In this region and era, this face is nearly unique. Comparisons also help us see that the people who built Karahantepe were not isolated. Their ideas share deep continuity with prehistoric symbolic traditions across West Asia. But the face pillar might mark a moment of new daring, new expressive ambition. As with all archaeological finds, multiple interpretations are possible, and caution is needed. Here are some leading possibilities, and where they succeed or struggle. 1. Ancestral portrait, honored ancestor. The face could represent a deceased ancestor, carved so that their presence remains among the living. Pros. Fits with ancestor veneration ideas, symbolic continuity. Cons. We don't know the identity, so maybe it is a generic face, not a portrait. 2. Deity or spirit presence. The face might be a representation of a god, spirit, or supernatural being, a guardian of the structure or household. Pros. Many rituals in early societies center on protective or tutelary figures. Cons. No direct evidence in textual record. Interpreting a face as deity is speculative. 3. Symbolic human pillar fusion. Perhaps the pillar and face concept is symbolic fusion. The pillar is human. The standing column is a stylized person. The carved face completes the metaphor. This matches the pattern. Pillars with arms or hands already existed. Here, the face completes the anthropomorphic concept. 4. Social memory, lineage marker. The face could mark a clan, a lineage, or a group identity, a totemic symbol rather than a literal portrait. Pros. Aligns with social mark-making, boundary symbolism. Cons. Ambiguous, without inscription or context. 5. Artistic experiment, symbolic first. Maybe this pillar is an exception, an experiment in artistic boldness, carving a face as a one-off statement. Not all expression must follow rigid ritual rules. No discovery comes without open questions. Here are the key uncertainties and what future work might reveal. Dating and context. While broadly placed in the 11,000 to 12,000 years ago era, precise stratigraphic and radiocarbon dating for this specific pillar will help pin its context relative to other structures. Is it unique or just first found? We do not yet know whether many more face pillars lie buried. This may be the first discovered, not the first made. Original polychromy? Did the face ever have paint or pigment? Many ancient sculptures were originally colored, which would amplify the effect, though paint rarely survives. Associated artifacts. What was found around it? Offerings, tools, bones, organic remains may shed light on its function. Wear, weathering, erosion. The current form is weathered. Some features may have been lost or softened by time. Cultural continuity/influence. How this face pillar relates to later traditions of portraiture, idols, and human depiction in Anatolia or elsewhere is a rich thread for future research. Archaeologists will build nuance over time. But even now, the face is a turning point in how we understand Neolithic symbolic life. Beyond the facts, this face invites reflection. A 12,000-year gaze meets us across time. It humbles the modern mind. We are not first. It reminds us how deep our urge is to make meaning, to leave a mark, to declare, "I was here." In a noisy world, this silent stone face speaks about memory, mortality, connection, legacy. It challenges the assumption that ancient people were primitive. No, they felt, they dreamed, they expressed. Perhaps in thousands of years, humans will look back at our digital images, screens, architecture, and wonder, where are the faces we left behind? Thus, this pillar stands as a bridge between past and present, between human and sacred, between silence and voice.